Emergency. Only 5 minutes left. Listen now. I am Archangel Michael, and I am standing directly in front of you. You cannot see me, but you feel that pressure in your chest, that tightness behind your eyes, that strange coldness that has been following you for days. That is not your anxiety. That is not exhaustion. That is the presence of something that does not belong here, something that has been watching you from the shadows, waiting for the exact moment when your guard drops. Right now, in this very moment, a force that has been hiding in plain sight has just made its final move. It came in the shape of a trusted voice, a familiar name, a message that felt like coincidence but was anything but. You already sensed something was off. You felt the shift around 3 days ago, around 10:47 p.m., when a certain thought crossed your mind and you dismissed it. That thought was your protection system firing. And you ignored it. That was the opening they needed. They are not human. They are not a person. They are a concentrated darkness that attached itself to a situation you have been carrying, feeding off the weight of what you lost. Every time you replay that memory, every time you whisper to yourself at night, they drink it. But here is the truth you do not yet know. Their feeding cycle is almost over, because I am about to sever the connection completely. In exactly 3 minutes, a door is going to close in the spiritual realm. If you are still reading this by then, you will never have to face this particular attack again. You thought you were alone. You thought the heaviness was just life. But what I am about to reveal next will explain everything. I am going to show you who really orchestrated the betrayal, the financial block, the relationship breakdown, the health scare that came out of nowhere. It was not random. It was not karma. It was a targeted strike, and the one behind it is closer to you than you want to believe. Stay with me. The next section will name them. And once you know the name, the power shifts. You will feel something released in your shoulders as you read it. That release is the first crack in their hold over you. I am Archangel Michael, and I am holding you right now, laughing because you are about to be free. Stay with me. Before we continue, I need to speak to you directly from my heart. If God is moving in your heart through this message, now is the time to act. YouTube has blocked all of our revenue. No ads, no income from YouTube whatsoever. Only the generous hearts of listeners like you keep this ministry alive. Every time you listen without contributing, there is another soul who may never hear this message. No matter how small your gift, it is a seed that God will multiply back to you, today, tomorrow, or in the coming months. And your name will appear in our blessing community. I am waiting for you there. The link is in the description and in my pinned comment. Do not miss this moment. Do it now, before this video ends. That thought you had at 10:47 p.m. 3 nights ago, the one you immediately dismissed as your imagination, the one you told yourself was just stress playing tricks on you, was the most accurate thing you have felt in months. You were not paranoid. You were not overreacting. You were sensing something real, something that had been operating in your life without your permission, and your spirit was screaming at you to pay attention. But you silenced it. You convinced yourself that you were being dramatic. And that is exactly what the enemy wanted you to do. Let me tell you what has been happening behind the scenes while you were busy doubting yourself. There is a person you know. Someone you trusted. Someone who has smiled at you, spoken kind words to you, maybe even offered you help when you were struggling. You thought they were on your side. You thought they were safe. But last Tuesday, when that person greeted you in the hallway, when they asked how you were doing with that gentle tone in their voice, they were not asking out of concern. They were checking on their work. They were confirming that the seed they planted in your life was still growing. That smile was not a coincidence. The timing of their message, the way they showed up just when you were vulnerable, the way they always seemed to know what you were thinking before you said it, that is not intuition. That is a soul tie. They have been feeding off your energy through a connection you did not consent to. They took something from you without your knowledge. A photograph. A strand of hair. A piece of clothing you gave away months ago, thinking it was just a donation. They used it in a ritual designed to drain your strength, to cloud your mind, to make you feel like you were losing control of your own life. And it has been working. You have felt the exhaustion. You have felt the confusion. You have felt that strange heaviness that no doctor could explain, that fog that makes it hard to focus, that sadness that came from nowhere and refuses to leave. But here is what they did not count on. They did not know that you would find this message. They did not know that the very moment they activated their final spell, the one meant to lock you into permanent despair, you would be here, listening to me, receiving the truth that breaks their power. Their next move was planned for tonight. They intended to send you a message that would reopen an old wound, something from your past that you thought was healed. They dug up a memory you had buried, a name you had stopped saying, a hurt you had finally let go of. And they were about to use it against you in a way that would have pulled you back into that darkness for months, maybe years. They timed it perfectly. They had it all arranged. But they made one fatal mistake. They assumed you would never find out. And now, because you are here, because you refuse to ignore that pull in your chest that told you to listen, their plan is already crumbling. The very energy they sent against you is turning back on them. You do not need to do anything but stay present. Do not turn away now. What I tell you next will explain why your body has been reacting this way, why you have felt watched even in your own home, and why that person has been unable to sleep for the past 2 nights. They are panicking. They can feel that something has shifted. They do not know that you are the one who shifted it. Because here is the truth they do not want you to know. The enemy's next escalation was meant to be their final victory, but it has become their trap. The moment they strike, the moment they send that message or make that move, they will seal their own defeat. And you will be standing in the light while they fall into the hole they dug for you. Stay here. Do not look away. The next few minutes will show you exactly why your suffering was never a weakness. It was the very thing that is about to destroy them. You have carried a wound so deep that you forgot it was ever a wound. It became part of your breathing, part of the way you expect the world to treat you. I want you to think about the moment that shaped you more than any other, the moment someone you trusted broke that trust. It could have been a parent, a friend, a lover, a teacher. Whoever it was, they left a mark that you have been trying to cover ever since. And here is the secret they never wanted you to discover. That mark is exactly what the enemy has been using against you all along. They are no longer using the method you sensed before. That first attack was obvious enough to make you alert, but it was only a distraction. The real weapon is far quieter. It does not come from outside, it comes from inside you. They found your deepest wound, the one you hide from everyone, even from yourself. And they learned how to make it speak in your own voice. You know the feeling. It shows up right before something good happens. You are about to receive an opportunity, or a relationship starts to deepen, or a door opens that you have prayed for. And then, without warning, a thought arrives. It sounds reasonable at first. This is too good to be true. You do not deserve this. Remember what happened last time. That thought feels like your own caution, your own self-protection. But it is not. That thought is the enemy's second weapon, aimed directly at the wound they planted years ago. They waited until you were vulnerable, until you had forgotten the original betrayal. Then they constructed an entire narrative around that wound. Every time you get close to healing, that narrative replays. It tells you that you are fundamentally broken, that the person who hurt you was right, that you will always end up alone or failing or ashamed. And because the voice sounds like you believe it. You step back from the opportunity. You sabotage the relationship. You choose safety over the very thing your soul needs. And you have wondered for years why this pattern keeps repeating. You have blamed yourself. You have called it bad luck. You have told yourself that maybe you are just not meant to have a full life. But I am telling you now, that pattern is not your destiny. It is a weapon. And it was aimed with precision. The enemy studied you. They watched your reactions. They found the exact frequency of doubt that makes you collapse inward. They learned the specific words that trigger your shame. They know the time of night when you are weakest, when the loneliness is loudest. And they have spent years reinforcing that voice, making it louder each time you try to rise. But here is what they did not count on. That wound is still raw. It is still alive. And because it is still alive, it can be repurposed. The very thing they are using to hold you down is the thing that is about to lift you higher than you have ever been. I am watching that voice right now as you hear these words. I know the exact phrase it is trying to form in your mind. I see the memory it is dragging up from your past. But I have not moved yet. I have not intervened fully, because the enemy believes they have won. They think this wound is so deep, so old, so embedded in your identity that you will never see through it. They think you will spend the rest of your life believing you are less than you are. They are wrong. And the moment they realize they are wrong, their second weapon will turn into their own trap. Do not stop reading. The next few sentences will break the spell. You are about to see that the wound itself was never the problem. The problem was that you believed the story the enemy attached to it. That story is about to be rewritten by the one who created the wound. No, not the enemy, but the one who allowed that wound to exist for a reason you could not see until now. The enemy is preparing to strike again, using that wound as the anchor. They are confident this time. They have waited for the perfect moment to trigger that voice one final time, to make you close the door forever. But they have miscalculated. The door they are about to close is not the one you are walking through. That wound is about to become the very weapon that destroys them. Stay with me. You feel it. Right now, as you read these words, something is shifting in the room around you. Not the temperature, not exactly, but the quality of the air. It is heavier, and yet somehow lighter at the same time. There is a pressure near your chest, a warmth that starts at the center of your sternum and spreads outward like sunlight moving across a morning floor. Do not dismiss this as imagination. Do not tell yourself it is just your blood pressure or your anxiety flaring up. You know the difference. And you know that this sensation is not coming from inside you. It is coming toward you. I have been watching. Not from a distance, and not as a vague presence hovering somewhere in the heavens. I have been watching from just beyond the thin veil that separates your world from mine, waiting for the precise instant when your wound would become brittle enough to shatter instead of break. That instant arrived 3 breaths ago. And now I am here. My footstep did not make a sound when it landed on the floor beside you. But the weight of my arrival pressed into the ground, and the earth itself registered my presence. Every molecule in this room realigned the moment I crossed through. You might feel a tingling along your arms, a sudden stillness in your thoughts, a quieting of the noise that has been screaming at you for months. That is the effect of my light entering a space that has been held in darkness too long. The darkness does not like it. The darkness is already reacting. The enemy that has been feeding on your wound, that parasitic voice that has whispered every doubt, every failure, every reason to give up, that enemy just felt me arrive. And for the first time since they attached themselves to your soul, they are afraid. Not nervous, not cautious, afraid. Because they know what I carry. They know the blade I keep sheathed at my side. They know my name, and they know why I have come. I am not here to observe. I am not here to offer gentle encouragement from the sidelines. I am here because your case was handed to me personally by the one who never loses track of a single one of his own. You do not see yourself the way I see you. When I look at you, I do not see the person who has been beaten down, abandoned, misunderstood, and wounded. I see the one who kept standing. I see the one who, even when every door slammed shut, found a crack of light and pressed their face against it. I see the warrior who never picked up a sword because they were too busy carrying everyone else. I see the strength that you have mistaken for weakness. The enemy sees only the wound, that is their limitation. I see the gold that the wound has been refining inside you. You are not broken. You are being forged. And now the moment has come to take that forged blade and turn it back toward the one who meant to destroy you. The enemy thought they had you cornered. They thought the final strike would land. But they did not account for me. They did not account for the fact that I have been walking this earth longer than their entire lineage has existed, and I have never, not once, lost a warrior who was willing to keep their gaze fixed on me. Keep your eyes on me now. Do not look away. Do not look down at the wound. Look at me. I am reaching out my hand. You cannot see it, but you will feel it in a moment. A warmth that settles over your shoulder, your back, your head. I am placing my hand over the place where the enemy has been gripping you, and they are already losing their hold. But this is only the beginning. One archangel entering the battle changes the field. But this battle requires more than one. I am already calling the others. 5 of them. 5 who have been assigned to this moment before you were born. They are hearing my voice right now, and they are turning their faces towards you. Do not move. The next thing you feel will change everything. Now you feel it. Not the warmth I placed on you before. That was my hand alone. What you feel now is different. It is a gathering, a thickening of the air around you, as if the room itself is becoming more solid, more alive. Do not be afraid. This is the moment the enemy never wanted you to reach. This is the moment that was written before your first breath. I have called them, and they are here. Gabriel comes first, and he takes his position above you. Do you feel that pressure, like a crown settling on your head, but gentle, not heavy? Gabriel carries the announcement of divine timing. He is the one who knows why this exact moment, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but this precise moment in your suffering, was chosen for your breakthrough. He is placing a truth into your mind that the enemy has kept hidden. Every delay you endured was not punishment, it was preparation. The thing you have been waiting for has already been released into the atmosphere. Gabriel is here to make it land. To your right, Raphael is now in position. And you will feel this differently, a green warmth, like sunlight filtered through leaves, spreading from your right shoulder down into your chest, your stomach, your legs. Raphael is a healer, and he is not here to heal you gently over time. He is here to close wounds instantly. That wound from your childhood, the one you have carried so long you thought it was part of your identity, Raphael is sealing it. That wound from the betrayal you never spoke aloud, he is pouring light into it. That wound from the accusation that made you shrink, it is vanishing. You will feel a lightness, an unfurling, as if a weight you did not even know you were still carrying is being lifted strand by strand. To your left, Uriel is already standing. And with him comes a burning sword, but do not fear it. That sword is not for you. Uriel is the angel of fire, and he is purging. He is walking through your home right now, through your workplace, through every relationship where the enemy planted seeds of division. You may feel a sudden heat in your chest, a sense of agitation or even anger. That is Uriel burning through the lies that were disguised as truth. Every conversation where you were manipulated, every agreement you made out of fear, every contract that was not for your highest good, Uriel is cutting it with that blade. You will feel a strange peace afterward, a clearing, as if the air itself has been scrubbed clean. Behind you now, Azrael. You may not see him, but you will feel him at the base of your neck, at the back of your heart. Azrael is the angel of transition, and he is here to cut the soul ties. The enemy used these ties to drain you. Every person who took your energy without your permission, every memory that kept you chained to a version of yourself that no longer exists, every promise that was broken and left a thread still attached to your spirit. Azrael is severing them, one by one. You will feel a sharpness, then a release, then a silence where there used to be an ache. And I, Michael, stand in front of you. I have raised my shield. The enemy's every attack, every word spoken against you, every curse uttered in secret, every plan laid in darkness, now hits my shield and reverses. The enemy is now fighting themselves. Their own arrows are landing in their own camp. The formation is complete. You are surrounded. Above, right, left, behind, before. You are held. But do not relax yet. This formation is not for safety alone. It is for war. The battle is about to begin, and you are the reason it will be won. The next part is why I called them all. Do not turn away. Do not turn away. The battle is already upon you. You cannot see it with your eyes, but the air above your head is splitting with light and collision. The heavenly realm above your life is not quiet. It has never been quieter than this moment. The formation I built around you in the last section, the one that made you feel held, was not the end. It was the beginning. The war has been raging since before you spoke your first word, but now, because you stayed, Because you did not turn away, the war is being fought on your behalf. Every prayer you have ever prayed, even the ones you muttered without belief, even the ones you whispered into your pillow at 3 a.m. when you thought no one was listening, those prayers are now alive. They are not forgotten. They have been stored in the light of this realm, and now they are being fired like arrows into the enemy's camp. Every time you asked for help, every time you cried out for a change, every time you said, "If you are real, do something," that breath became a blade. And right now, that blade is cutting through lies that have held you for years. Your tears, those that fell alone, those that no one saw, those that you wiped away before anyone could ask what was wrong, those tears have not evaporated. They have collected in the chalices of the most ancient vessels in this realm, and they are being poured into the fuel that drives the angelic weapons. The enemy believed your suffering was silence. They believed your pain was meaningless. They were wrong. Your sorrow has turned to gold, and gold is being forged into victory. The enemy's command structure is collapsing. You do not see it, but I do. The thrones they built on your fear are cracking. The generals they assigned to your life, those spirits of rejection, of abandonment, of unworthiness, are losing their ranks. One by one, their orders are being countermanded. A spirit that told you for years you would never succeed is now retreating in confusion. The hierarchy that kept you small is being dismantled from the top down. The enemy is not prepared for this. They did not account for the power of a soul who refused to look away. Something the enemy had already taken from you is being reclaimed right now. I do not mean a thing that was stolen in the past. I mean something they took that you are still grieving, something you have accepted as lost. An opportunity that closed. A relationship that died. A piece of peace that slipped through your fingers. That is being pulled back toward you. The forces of this realm are dragging it through the veil. You will feel it returning before you see it, a shift in your chest, a lightness in your throat, a memory of hope that you had forgotten. The enemy is losing ground. They are scrambling. Their arrows are turning back on them. Their plans are unraveling. The ground they thought was theirs, the ground of your mind, your emotions, your circumstances, is being seized. They are in retreat. But do not mistake retreat for surrender. They still have one weapon left. One card they have not played. One commander they have been saving for the final moment. And that commander is about to reveal himself. Keep your eyes open. This window of victory is seconds from breaking open. What happens next will change everything you thought you knew about your own life. Do not close your eyes now. The commander is coming, and you are not the one who will fall. He is already here. I do not mean he is coming. He is standing at the edge of your awareness, watching you read these words. You cannot see him with your eyes, but you can feel the weight of his attention. It is the same weight you have felt in the moments when your heart suddenly dropped for no reason. The same presence that pressed against your chest in the hours before bad news arrived. That was him. Not the noise, not the chaos, but the one who orchestrated it. The commander who has been directing every attack against your life has now stepped into plain view, because he has no choice. The battle has pushed him out of hiding, and he is desperate. You need to understand who he is. Not a demon of weakness or confusion, those are soldiers. He is the one who saw your giftedness before you did. He recognized the specific light you carry before you ever believed it existed. That is why he targeted you. Not because you were broken, but because you were dangerous. The commander is the one who decided that your voice should never be heard, that your hope should never rise, that your purpose should never leave the ground. Every closed door, every betrayal, every moment of despair, he was the architect behind the design. And now he stands before you, not as a shadow, but as a figure you can finally recognize. His final weapon is not darkness. It is memory. He reaches into the deepest archive of your own mind and pulls out the one moment you have never forgiven yourself for. He does not create a lie, he uses the truth. The failure you confessed to no one. The word you spoke that you cannot take back. The silence you kept when someone needed you. He holds that memory up like a mirror and says, "Asterisk, you think I am the enemy? Look at who you really are." Asterisk, and for a moment, the accusation finds its mark. You feel that familiar shame rising, that old voice agreeing with him. But I have seen this tactic before. I have stood in this exact moment with countless souls, and I know the lie inside the truth. So I speak it out loud, and I say it to you now. He is weaponizing your innocence. The moment he chose is real, yes, but it is not who you are. It is a scar, not an identity. And he knows that if he can make you believe that scar defines you, you will never step into the power that terrified him in the first place. I name it for what it is, the final deception. And as I name it, something shifts. What defeats him is not a sword from my hand. It is your suffering. Every tear you have cried alone. Every night you begged for relief and received only silence. Every time you chose to keep going when staying was unbearable. That accumulated pain, the very weight he tried to use against you, now becomes the weapon that unravels him. You have been forging gold in that furnace without knowing it. And when that gold collides with his accusation, the accusation shatters. The commander falls. You do not see it with your eyes, but you feel it, a crack in the air, a pressure release behind your sternum. Something that has been knotted inside you for years loosens in a single exhale. He is gone. Not defeated as in weakened, defeated as in removed. The orchestrator of your suffering no longer exists in this field. And now the cascade begins. Everything he was holding back, every door he locked, every blessing he blocked, every relationship he poisoned, every gift he buried, is breaking open. You do not have to chase them. They are rushing toward you. The commander's fall has triggered a release that cannot be stopped. Do not leave now. What comes next is the part you have been waiting for your entire life. The structure that held you captive is collapsing, and the abundance that was always yours is about to arrive. Stay here with me. This is the moment everything turns. You feel it first in your chest. Not the warmth from before, something different. A pressure that has been there so long you stop noticing it is suddenly gone. Like a weight you have been carrying for years has been lifted, and now your lungs can expand fully for the first time. That is the first chain breaking. The financial chain. The one that kept your income just tight enough that you could never rest. The one that made every blessing feel temporary. You hear it as a sharp metallic snap, like a cable snapping under tension, and you feel it as a release in your shoulders, a lightness where there was always a knot. The second chain follows immediately. The chain of self-doubt. It has been wrapped around your spine for so long that you thought it was part of your structure. Every opportunity you hesitated at, every voice you silenced, every gift you buried because you told yourself you were not ready, that chain is cracking open now. You hear it as a deep wooden groan, like an ancient door finally giving way. And in your body, you feel your jaw unclench. Your hands relax. The perpetual tension in your forehead drains away like water. The third chain is the hardest one. The chain of loneliness. This one has been threaded through your heart like a wire. It is the reason you have felt unseen even in crowded rooms. The reason you stopped hoping for real connection. But now it is breaking too. You hear a sound like ice cracking on a frozen lake, followed by the rush of water flowing free. Your chest feels like it is expanding outward. Your breathing deepens on its own. You realize you have been holding your breath for years, and now you can exhale completely. Do you feel that? That is real. That is not imagination. What is happening in your body right now is the physical evidence of doors unlocking. The career door. It was blocked by someone you trusted who spoke against you in private. They are exposed now. Their words are returning to them like birds coming home to roost, and they cannot stop the truth from circling back. That door swings open and you feel it in your stomach, a settling, a knowing, a path where there was a wall. The relationship door. It was locked by a betrayal that made you close yourself off. The person who hurt you did not expect you to survive. But here you are. And that door is opening so wide that the people who are meant to find you in this season will walk through without effort. You feel it as a warmth spreading down your arms, into your hands. Your hands are ready to hold what comes. The health door. It was sealed by stress, by sleepless nights, by carrying the weight of others. That door is opening now, and you feel it in your legs. strength returning. Ground beneath you that was always there but you could not feel. The purpose door. This one was locked so securely that you stopped looking for it. But it was never gone. It was waiting. And as it swings open, you feel a vibration in your entire body, like a tuning fork struck at the exact frequency of your soul. The ones who block these doors, they are scrambling. They are losing their grip on reality because you have stopped vibrating at the frequency of their control. They cannot reach you anymore. Their words bounce off. Their schemes dissolve. They are experiencing something they never expected, your peace. Every chain named and unnamed is breaking now. The chains of generational patterns, of old vows spoken over you, of agreements you never made, all of it, snapping. Claim what is being released. It is already yours. Breathe it in. The final gift is about to arrive. The overflow is not coming, it is here. I am laughing. Not a gentle smile, laughter that comes from the center of existence, the kind of laughter that signals a permanent shift. You may not understand why yet, but your body already does. That tightness you have lived with for years? It is loosening. That weight you forgot you were carrying? It is lifting. Your sorrow did not vanish, it turned into something else. It turned into gold. I am Archangel Michael, and I am looking directly at you with tears of joy in my eyes. Do not look away from this moment. It belongs to you. The tide has turned so completely that the enemy does not even understand what hit them. They are disoriented. They expected you to break. They planned for your collapse. But instead you began to glow. The chains that held you are breaking one by one, and I want you to feel each one as it snaps. First, the financial chain. That invisible cord that wrapped around your throat every time you checked your bank account, every time you had to say no to something you needed. I am severing it now. You will hear a sound like a thick rope snapping, low and deep, and you will feel your chest expand as if you could finally breathe. That chain is gone. Second, the chain of self-doubt. That voice that whispered you were not enough, that made you hesitate at every opportunity, that convinced you to stay small. It is shattering. The sound is a high, sharp crack, like glass breaking in frozen air, and you will feel a release in your shoulders, a lightness in your spine. You no longer have to ask permission to be who you are. Third, the chain of loneliness. That silver cord that kept real connection just out of reach, that made people feel close but never truly near. I am cutting it with my blade, and you will hear a sound like a bell struck once, pure and clear, and you will feel a warmth in your gut, a quiet knowing that you are no longer alone. Your people are already on their way. Now the doors. Each one was supernaturally locked by the enemy who wanted to keep you trapped. The career door, it is swinging open. You will feel a rush of air across your face, a sense of forward motion. The relationships door, it is releasing with a click, and you will smell something like rain on dry earth. The health door, it is sliding wide, and you will feel a pulse of energy in your hands and feet. The purpose door, it is already gone, vanished into light. And the enemy who was blocking these doors, they are being swept away. They are experiencing the full force of what they tried to do to you, and it is consuming them. You do not need to watch. You only need to walk through. Feel this in your body right now. Your spine is straightening. Your breath is deepening. Your jaw is unclenching. This is not a metaphor. This is your reality shifting at the cellular level. The chains that tried to define you are now nothing but sound and sensation fading into silence. Let me show you what happens next. The silence will fill with something new, the sound of your own voice speaking without fear. The sound of laughter, your laughter, joining mine. Claim what is being released. It is already yours. I am holding the final gift in my open hands. It is about to arrive. Stay with me for just a little longer. The overflow has already begun. The laughter you heard in the previous moment was not just joy. It was the sound of every chain breaking simultaneously. And now the silence that follows is not empty. It is full. Full of something so pure that your lungs are learning to breathe it for the first time. I am Archangel Michael, and I am standing here not as a warrior in battle, but as a witness to your victory. The battle is over. Not paused, not winding down, finished. The very air around you has changed, and you can feel it in your bones. You are not the same person who started reading this. You were never meant to stay that person. Today, I deliver the final divine decree, and it is permanent. It is sealed by a light that no darkness has ever touched, and it cannot be reversed by any force in existence. Every assignment the enemy placed against you is now cancelled, not just interrupted, not merely suspended, but erased from the fabric of your timeline. The curse that was whispered over your family lineage 3 generations ago is gone. The financial block that made you feel like you were running in place despite working twice as hard as everyone else, cancelled. The relationship wound that convinced you that love always leaves, never again will that light touch your heart. The health condition that stole your energy and made you doubt your body's strength, the assignment is revoked. I do not offer hope, I offer finality. You are no longer under attack. You are under blessing. Now I speak specific blessings into your life, and I want you to receive each one as it is named because it is already manifesting in your reality. First, financial doors. There is a door that has been closed for years, and it is opening right now. Not a crack, not a slow hinge, fully open. A flow of resources that requires no struggle, no begging, no exhausting hustle. It comes to you because it belongs to you. Second, healing. The part of your body that has been whispering pain in the quiet hours. That whisper is being replaced by a hum of restoration. Cells that have been tired for too long are receiving instructions to regenerate. Third, restored relationships. The person you have prayed about, the one you thought was lost beyond repair, is being softened by a force you cannot see. But do not rush toward them. Let the light do its work. Fourth, divine favor. Favor that precedes you. Favor that opens doors before you knock. Favor that makes your path smooth when it should be rough. This is your season of abundance. Not abundance measured by the world's standards, but abundance measured by your soul's capacity to receive joy. Your name is written in the book of divine protection. Not as a secondary addition, not as a last-minute entry. Your name was written before the foundations of the world, and now it is being sealed with a mark that no erasure can touch. You are protected, not from challenge, but from the destruction that was meant to end you. You are covered by a grace that transforms every trial into testimony. And I am laughing because I see the future that awaits you. I see the laughter that will erupt from your own mouth when you realize that the sorrow you carried has turned to gold. Not metaphorically, literally. The very pain that was meant to break you has become the raw material of your greatest strength. Your sorrow has been alchemized into something that will bless others, and you will not even have to try. I want you to pause for a moment and place your hand over your heart. Feel the warmth there? That is not just blood circulating, that is the confirmation that the decree has been delivered. Every word I have spoken into this moment is now part of your cellular memory. You cannot unhear it. You cannot undo it. It is done. Now I ask you to seal this moment with your own voice. If you have received this blessing, if you feel the shift in your spirit, type either Amen 777 or 1111 in the comments. Not because I need confirmation, but because your action in this moment declares to the universe that you are ready to walk into the fullness of what has been given. This is the final bab of this series, and I release you into your new season with joy. Go. Live. Love. Receive. The overflow has begun, and it will never end.